The sky was filled with a massive, spiral-shaped dark cloud as an alien spaceship slowly emerged. Under its control, the ground began to crack apart, and enormous jets of water shot up from beneath the surface. These rising columns of water formed a towering wall, encircling the entire city. The water level kept rising, while the sky itself seemed to press downward. Humanity was on the brink of destruction. It turned out that 3 years ago, the alien Hank had given the Eternal Life Bracelet to Julia. Now, the alien invasion was meant to kill her and reclaim the powerful artifact. After the aliens left, the military tirelessly experimented with alien battle armor, hoping to harness its technology. At the same time, they studied Julia's bracelet. However, its energy was so immense that it nearly destroyed the laboratory. One day, another unidentified flying object appeared in the sky. Hank, piloting a small spaceship, burst forth, breaking through Earth's defense system to visit the planet once again. His spacecraft landed on the ocean surface. Meanwhile, Julia was drowning her sorrows in alcohol. Hank found her at the bar and tried to take her away, but the bar's security intervened. In a critical moment, Julia knocked out a guard with a bottle, allowing them to escape. Hank hijacked a car using his control over Earth's digital networks and managed to evade pursuit. He took Julia to a secluded cabin in the woods. Julia was both shocked and delighted to see him again. However, at that moment, an even larger alien spaceship appeared in space. Compared to this massive vessel, Hank's craft was no more than an ant. The enormous ship extended tendrils, slowly enveloping Hank's spacecraft until it was completely swallowed. Julia contacted her father, Hill, and told him about her plan to leave Earth with Hank. Hill, in response, tracked her location through her phone and dispatched an elite squad to intercept them. However, the alien ship had already infiltrated Earth's networks and altered Hill's orders. The soldiers now received only one directive: shoot to kill. Hank and Julia had no choice but to fight back. After an intense battle, they managed to escape. At that moment, a flying vehicle shot up from the lake. Hank leaped into it, and as Julia was about to enter, she was struck by enemy fire. With Julia wounded, Hank piloted the craft through relentless gunfire and escaped. But the alien spaceship launched a final missile, a devastating weapon aimed directly at them. Just as the missile was about to hit, Hank used his ship to unleash a massive surge of water, successfully intercepting the attack. However, his own craft was severely damaged. He attempted to absorb moisture from the clouds to repair it, but the damage was too great. The vessel plummeted into a river. Hank tried to contact his captured spaceship, but soon realized it was completely under enemy control. A system warning appeared. To survive, he must eliminate Julia, the one who could wield the bracelet. The massive alien ship had seized control of all radio communications. Imitating Hill's voice, it issued a direct kill order against Julia and Hank. Helicopters descended, relentlessly attacking their submerged craft. 2 missiles launched simultaneously, striking their vehicle. The powerful explosion sent it hurtling through the air. As it flew, water seemed to lose gravity, floating in all directions, while underground springs erupted skyward. The vehicle crashed onto the ground. Just as the helicopters prepared to attack again, Julia's ex-boyfriend, Ivan, emerged from a skyscraper, now transformed into a mecha warrior. He lunged forward, seizing one of the helicopters. His relentless assault caused the aircraft to spin out of control, but as it spiraled wildly, Ivan was also thrown off. After a fierce struggle, Ivan successfully destroyed the helicopter, allowing Hank and Julia to escape. Hank then gathered a large amount of purified water and used the Eternal Life Bracelet to heal Julia's wounds. Meanwhile, the observatory detected the presence of a massive alien spaceship in outer space. Once its location was confirmed, Hill gave the order: launch the nuclear missile. A massive nuclear warhead slowly ascended into the sky. The unidentified spaceship was hit directly by the nuclear missile. As the crowd erupted in cheers, a massive alien mothership suddenly appeared over Moscow. It turned out that the destroyed ship had been nothing more than a decoy, a sacrificial pawn in a larger scheme. At that moment, countless torrents of water erupted from the ground, instantly forming a colossal water barrier that connected with the dome in the sky, sealing the entire city within. The rising floodwaters surged toward the city, trapping everyone inside. Fighter jets outside the barrier launched missiles at the water walls, but the attacks were useless, like punching into cotton. The missiles simply disappeared into the liquid mass without causing any damage. Panic spread throughout the city as people scrambled for safety. Hill arranged for Hank, Julia, and Ivan to escape aboard his private jet. However, in the end, Hank made a different choice. Witnessing humanity's courage and resilience in the face of disaster, he gained a newfound appreciation for the value of life. He decided to stay. Hank resolved to pilot his damaged craft into the heart of the alien mothership in a final, desperate attempt to destroy it. Hill, stationed in the control room, provided navigation support. Hank skillfully maneuvered his craft through the surging water currents. Below the surface, the city was in ruins. Rooftops were crowded with people seeking refuge. But the relentless flood was closing in fast. Heavy rain further obscured visibility. In the chaos, the helicopter carrying Julia collided with high-voltage power lines. The aircraft lost control. Luckily, Julia and Ivan managed to jump from the helicopter just in time, narrowly escaping disaster. They climbed to the rooftop of a high-rise building, looking out over Moscow, now a vast ocean. The city was almost entirely submerged, with desperate survivors clinging to any refuge they could find. Floodwaters surged into the command center. Hill, knowing there was no escape, made his final farewell to Hank. Accepting his fate, he stood still as the water engulfed him. Meanwhile, Hank pushed his spacecraft upward, racing along the towering water walls toward the alien mothership. By now, the dome above had merged with the rising floodwaters, completely submerging the remaining survivors. Just then, Julia's bracelet suddenly emitted a blinding light. A powerful vortex formed around her, swirling with immense force. The currents grew stronger and stronger, expanding outward. The raging waters caught hold of Hank's spacecraft, stopping him in his tracks. The whirlpool intensified, growing so powerful that it lifted the colossal alien ship from the water and into the sky. Seizing the opportunity, fighter jets immediately launched a full-scale attack on the exposed vessel. Moments later, a White Swan strategic bomber appeared overhead, releasing its payload directly onto the alien mothership. With a deafening explosion, the combined force of the nuclear blast and the raging vortex utterly destroyed the alien mothership. The massive floodwaters began to recede rapidly, and millions of people were finally saved. Miraculously, Hill also managed to survive against all odds. Humanity had triumphed over the alien invaders. In the final moments of the story, Julia had fully learned to control the Eternal Life Bracelet. Demonstrating her newfound power, she summoned a spacecraft from the depths of the lake. Hank was ready to take her on a journey beyond Earth.